Yellow, yes, here I come, one and only, the man of the moment, who is out to bring blessings and joy to us as we would have it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Been mowing the lawn this morning, kind of tired, but this message, this feeling that I wanted to express to you, so important that I put that aside, and here I am. And what I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are watching this video, and who might pass it along to others, and those who have received it, I need your help. I want your help. You see, ladies and gentlemen, each of us want to be important. In our own way, we want to be important. And I'm no different than the rest of us. I want to be important too. And I want to rank among those who are renowned for importance. You know who you have identified as people who are deserving of that. And I want to be one of those. I have heard and believe that the greatest of those who are recognized as such are those that have served. And that's what I am willing to do. And I have the evidence, I'm sure, supporting me at least for back as almost 40 years. But I've never ever really come forward and asked for help as I'm doing today, because I've always believed that there was another way. And that way that I've tried for so long has proven to be fruitless. And while my goals and ambitions are still the same, I'm not going to try to do it alone. Not that I tried to do it alone in the past. It's just that I required your participation. More perhaps than I am requiring today. What I need you to understand and perceive with me, ladies and gentlemen, is this. I want to serve not only black people or men, not only Minnesotans or citizens of the United States. I want to serve the world. You see, we've heard people talk about a God. And I've heard people talk about God is love. I've heard people killing in the name of God and wiping out civilizations and all the animals and all living things in the name of God. So all I really can say to you, ladies and gentlemen, is this. All that I know about God is wrapped up in a small little ball. Most of it has been taught to me, and so it's a traditional thing, things that I have not seen many people practice. And on the other hand, there are things that I've seen, miracles. I have seen miracles. And the miracles affected me in such a way that it was saving my life, not taking my life or taking others' lives. In other words, it was love to me. And perhaps it opened my eyes to see things that I've seen all the time, but was never able to put it in line in such a way that I could bring it to you so that you could understand it just as well. For instance, if I say to you, did mankind, as we know mankind, play anything in the development and the placement of this earth? Now, most of us would probably say no. And I'm one of those that says no. But it exists. It exists. If I ask you, what role do we know of that human beings played in the creation, the creative process of humankind? We would say that came from another source. Like the question, the egg or the chicken, which came first? That's a question that only the one that knows. The rest of us are guessing. And so I look at that and I'm thinking, ladies and gentlemen, that the earth here, with all its potentials, and all that is already given and shown, and we as human beings are here with all of our potentials, and all that we have given and shown, and they are all solid. And yet I find there's a great need. A great need. Other people shouldn't have to leave their country, coming over here making some people angry. They should be able to find peace and prosperity and joy wherever they are. Afghanistan, any parts of the world, don't let me single out any single one. Everywhere on earth, these people should be able to enjoy their cultures. They should be able to live as we ourselves want to live. And so should every race, every gender, every human being in the United States of America if they're just coming to visit. There are things that are common across the world for humankind to exist. Not just air and a body, but food and clothing and shelter. A little education doesn't hurt. Takes us a long way. We should never be denied it. For some strange reason, we don't restrict ourselves and keep ourselves in health, proper health, good health. We do some things that kind of mess us up. Sometimes we fall, break a leg. We should have unlimited, unrestricted health care from the womb to the tomb. Why? Because it's essential that we have it for survival. Why? Because the material sources are here. Why? Because the knowledge has been given. Why? Because to certain ones they have accessed that knowledge and have the capability to do it, and this is the purpose for which they are on this earth. Not for a paycheck. Food to feed, not for a paycheck. Housing and buildings for people to live and to use. Other structures, not for a paycheck. Teach, educate, not for a paycheck, but that men and those who access it can be better at whatever it is that they've been given to do. And none of you would disagree with that. None of you would disagree with that, I'm sure. And I ask you this question, ladies and gentlemen. A few men got together and they decided that they would build an automobile, something that they could sit in and they could move it like it has never been moved before. And so some of the men went and brought all the necessary materials that they thought they would need in this process. They assembled it together, and others came and disassembled it in such a way that what part could be used for a certain thing, all of those parts were separated together. In other words, broke down the mess. Others began to, after having set up and used, the pencils, the sketches, and they've done their job and determined what they were going to try to do, they set out to do it. Some were building body parts. Some were building engine and motor parts and wheels and all of these things. And when that was done, they were putting it together where it belonged according to the design. Some were making sure that the force that would move it, energy, the gas, was put there, and that system worked. Others making sure that the motor was working, making sure that the training was working. And when they got through, ladies and gentlemen, they had one of the biggest and most beautiful, what you call automobiles that you and I can imagine. Well, let's say that we couldn't imagine. They did, and now we're just amazed at what they did imagine and brought forth. If I asked you, who owned that car? What would you say? Well, I did ask this question to a group of people, some adults. I'm sure when I asked that question, just like you, they knew exactly what the answer was. But the answer was too simple. They had been brought up to think that things must be complicated. And so one started saying, well, maybe the one who had the idea. They own the car. Another says the one who put the motor and the transmission apart. They own the car. And every one of them was saying different things, though each of them knew the answer, but it was too simple to say. The training told them that it must be complicated. So they had to go away from the simple answer. But in the midst of that congregation was a little kid. That little kid stood there. I watched this little kid. And this little kid stood there and thought for a moment. And after a while, that kid, after thinking, said, all of them owned it. Simple answer. A child. All of them owned it. Every one of them played a part in the creative process. And when it was done, they did it. It was owned by them. And so this system, ladies and gentlemen, that I speak to you about peace and prosperity and joy, this having your needs met, all of you, is speaking that it put each of you in the creative process by giving you and allowing you to have the careers of your choosing. These careers already exist, ladies and gentlemen, and they are existing and meeting many of the needs of the human race, but not for their own benefit, not for the individual benefit, but for money, for profit. You don't have the money, you don't get it. And if you got a few pennies, they call it the dollar store and the Dollar General. These kinds of things. And if you don't have the money to live the kind of life that's inside of you that's trying to get out. And these systems have been designed to prevent you from doing such. And you find yourself going against what they have said you cannot do. Now they want to penalize you and put you in jail, put you in prison, put you in there for all great periods of time, telling the community that they're trying to conform you. They're not trying to do that. Or reform you. They're not trying to do that. They're trying to take you out the street and punish you. And when you come out, worse than you were when you went in, they're putting you right back in. But I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, all of this comes from the systems that we as human beings have accepted. We didn't design them. We accepted it. Somebody else designed it. Somebody who thought they were tricksters, a con artist. All these guys who come up with Ponzi schemes, who build buildings and put their names on the wall thinking that they're a great somebody because they want to be somebody great too. And the system that they live in allows them greatness through the process that says you fuck others and do it for yourself. And you will be great. People don't agree with that, but they go along with it because that's what they see. And anybody talking about a God is talking about something happening someplace else. Not in this life. So, ladies and gentlemen, I say to you, I don't want to ascribe all these different things to God. So I really don't know who God or what God is. But I know there's a power bigger than you, bigger than me. And that power inside, that power lives in me, and I want to tell you, this is what I want. I don't want to see people suffering, hungry, bellies popped out, no health care, no shelter, living in squatter quarters, while others are living on Peel Hill, shooting a basketball, getting $140 million, running a football, getting $200 million, playing baseball, and acting and singing and just living high on the hill, and you are down here going through all of these changes. I'm not knocking these people who get a lot of money out of these systems. They want to live a life too. I'm not trying to take that away from them. I'm trying to say to the world that every last one of us can live just like that if we so desire. And we don't have to or we don't want to. But we don't have the right, the moral right to prevent anybody from living high on the hill. But high on the hill usually means others are living below. No, we want to take away that. We want to take away the power that those who have deceived and legally and abused legally the human race. So I'm asking you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you to help me do it. See, I've been trying to do it for a long time. Go back and look at some of my videos and look at me now. See how much time has passed since I started this, and here I am today trying again. As I said earlier, I know this can't happen without you. If there is a God or the power that I know exists, I personally don't believe that power would make magically this thing switch. The only magic that will make this system switch in the systems of the world is you. The magic of waking you up to realize that there's no human being on the face of the earth that is more important and greater than you. You are as great and important as anybody. I don't care if you're in the bed, can't move, can't do more, move your eyes. You are as important, probably more, than any human being on the face of the earth. But remember this, in all of your greatness, You are no more greater than anyone else. All of you are great. And the greatness is manifest through the things that you have established by the power of your love and unity together. I'm asking you to think about your life. You don't know anything about a soul. You've been told about a soul. Why are you worried about something you don't know? Let your soul take care of itself. But you got a life that you have been given the responsibility to take care of. You can't do all of these things by yourself, but working together makes it really easy, ladies and gentlemen. And the world can flow smooth. You heard that guy say, "This land is mine. God gave this land to me. This brave and ancient land to me. And though I'm just a man," believe me, ladies and gentlemen, this power is in our hands. So I'm asking you, help me. I've committed crimes against the system, trying to get attention, trying to wake you up. I've done prison time. I've been in jail. I've done all kinds of things because I know this is real. And my joy and my peace is held back as long as the rest of the world is going through suffering and pain. And so, not actually requiring that you help. Oh, it will never happen if you don't help. But personally, at this time, you may need another incentive. And the incentive that I offer now is my life. I want peace and prosperity and joy and all people on earth to have all the food they need, all the clothing they need, all the shelter they need, all the education they need, all the health care they need. And I want to guarantee that these needs are met by using the resources that someone has provided or something has provided for us to use. And then use the gifts and talents as we have in the past used. Use it now in more of an abundance by allowing all people to participate as they dream to participate. And let us make this earth a beautiful, wonderful world. That's good enough for me. And if we can't do that, and you can't support this, then wherever the old evil spirit is, take me off this earth. Because I don't want to have anything to do with a world like this. Until next time, if there is, this is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate for your love. Bye-bye.